So now we have great. So now we've got a few ways to play a minor 1-6-2-5. Hi, this is Sean. Welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about playing in a minor key, and particularly minor 1-6-2-5s, a very common progression to use when playing standards in a minor key, and their variations as well. Please do hit like on this video. It's really helping us to grow and spread the word so I can do more of this for you. And please do hit subscribe and the notification bell so you know when I upload new content. And with that, I'm ready to begin. Well, minor 1-6-2-5s. Let's begin with something a bit more simplified. I've spoken about 2-5-1s before. Today we're talking more like 1-2-5, and we're going to jam a 6 in here as well, okay? Many people will ask, why is that a minor 6, not a minor 7th? In standards, if you listen to people, you're going to hear a minor 6. A minor 6, by the way, for newer people, is not a flat 6. It's a natural 6 on top of a minor triad, okay? So C minor 6 was the sound of an authentic minor in that period of time, and I still love the sound of them. You'll see books writing minor 7ths on tunes in a minor key. That happened much later, so because I'm a student of Barry Harris, that was beaten out of me. It's minor 6, right? So if we've got a song like Summertime, for me, it's the minor 6 sound, right? It's not a minor 7 sound for me. I know it is for a lot of people. That's fine. It's just not the way I play or the way I've learned. So this is a minor 1-2-5. So in a minor key, minor 6 on the 1, but on the 2, minor 7 flat 5. On the 5, still a dominant. Even though we're in minor, that doesn't change. Quick chat about the scales that are involved. So for me, it's a mix of minor scales when we're playing in a minor key, because the C minor 6 comes from this ascending melodic minor scale, the C major scale with a flat 3, right? So you can see in there you've got the C, the E flat, the G and the A to give us a minor 6 sound. But the 2-5 part for me comes from the C harmonic minor, because on the 2nd degree we've got a D minor 7 flat 5 or D half diminished, and on the 5th degree, if we just play alternate notes, we've got a G7, okay? So this minor 1-2-5 or 1-6-2-5, as we shall see, in its natural form without any variations on it, really uses both of those scales, the melodic minor and the harmonic minor. Now, if you know Barry Harris's material, and if you've seen anything about the minor 6 diminished, more advanced students, not for newer students, you'll know that we use both of those notes, in other words, the A natural and the A flat, to make a minor 6 diminished scale. And, you know, you could argue that then all the chords come from there. That's for another day, but just something to put out there. All right, next up, the minor 1-6-2-5. You've probably heard this sound before. So all I've done is put the A half diminished or A minor 7th flat 5 in. Notice that actually it has the same notes as C minor 6, so it's really just a bass change. When it's inverted, that C minor 6, it becomes A minor 7 flat 5. So really, if your bass player is putting the A down there, your chord can even be the same, but it gives a different feel. You know, it feels in that time. So that's a minor 1-6-2-5. So in tunes like Softly as in the Morning Sunrise, I've just got the A section written out here, from here to here. Let's zoom in a bit, and then I've repeated it a few times just so we can mess with it. There are some blank bars, no significance. So this is a minor 1, 2, there should be a 5 here. Let's put that in. And another one here. And I guess another one here. But we could also put in these 6s, even though they're not written. So it could be like that. Prefer it when it says A minor 7 flat 5. Let's just write that in. So now we have a minor 1-6-2-5. And as I said, C minor 6. So when you see, it's great that these things need correcting live. That's why I often don't touch them where possible until we look at them together, because then we can learn how to tackle this kind of music. So when you get a lead sheet that just says C minor in a jazz tune, you've got to decide, is it C minor 6 or a C minor 7th? And if you're in the key of C minor, I would go for C minor 6. So now we have... and then we could repeat the same progression again, okay? So that's a typical minor 1-6-2-5. Let me just clear up the lead sheet and come back. Okay, so now we have... and by the way, even if that A minor 7 flat 5 is written to go with the G, because this is a push is when something is a half beat early, I would still push the chord early in swing. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. Same here. Okay, so now we have a simple 1-6-2-5, minor 1-6-2-5 going through the A section. Let's look at some variations on that and see if there are any substitutions we could use. So there are several variations. We'll just run 2 of them today because that's enough to get started with. The first thing on minor 1-6-2-5s that's very common is the 2 dominant. So you turn the D into a dominant 7th. I'm going to play this one actually without the 6 involved for a minute. Let's just get rid of that 6. So we just have this much information, okay? Oh, I need to put in there. So this does that remind you of a tune? Angel Eyes does that. So that's the 2 dominant, right? Now, if we made it a minor 1-6-2-5 like that, it'll still work. Of course, we've got to see if it works with our melodies at the time, but even if it doesn't, we can still use them in comping, so not a problem, you know, by the time we're improvising. So that's one variation. We're going to try that with Softly as in a Morning Sunrise in a minute. Let's look at one more. So the next variation we'll look at substitutes that D7 that we just had here and turns it into an A flat 7. If you've seen any of my lessons on tritones, then we discuss the fact that D7 has this 3rd and 7th, A flat 7 has this 3rd and 7th, the 3rd and 7th kind of switch places. This makes them interchangeable, and it's also true that the roots D and A flat are a tritone 1, 2, 3 tones apart, which also makes them related, okay? But we won't go into that in too much depth today, but suffice to say that we can substitute D7 with A flat 7. So now we have great. So now we've got a few ways to play a minor 1-6-2-5. Now again, it doesn't mean that all of this works all the time. Let's see what we can do with Softly as in a Morning Sunrise and see if I can show you a few tricks to make things fit in when they seem like they otherwise won't. Okay, well, let's see. Can I use the D7 anywhere to start with? Well, I can see it's going to be a little bit tricky there with the F. Let's see what it would sound like. It's not perfect, especially with that G coming in. There is a case for having an F on a D7. It's okay. It's okay, but I'm going to leave that. Let me see if it works any better somewhere else. Maybe on the second one here. That's a nice one, yeah. That could be a D7. By the way, I have a little trick. When I have a D7 or any dominant 7th with the root in the melody, so D7 with D in the melody, I like to go for a flat 5 like that. So if I go from the beginning, here it comes. Okay, so we've got a D7 that works, that's fine. Can we find any spots for an A flat 7 as well? Remember that substitution we had? This one. Let's see if we can fit that in anywhere. Don't like it here instead of this area because Don't like the G above it because A flat 7, this is the 7. I don't really like the G above it. So probably not there for me. Let's see if it works on the next one. Could be. So it could work here. Let's put in a alternative, A flat 7. So we'll put 2 chords there, so we could use either. Did you notice that 1, 5, flat 5 has the flat 5 naturally because the D is the flat 5 of A flat 7. So this is also an A flat 7 with a flat 5, just like the D7 was. Let's put it in. That's a simple one. I had my 9 on there as well, fine. The G7 has a sharp 5 on it, by the way. Probably won't write all of these in, but that one's necessary because of the melody being E flat. Again here, I don't want an A flat 7 with the G in the melody, but maybe we could try something. Let's see. That's nice. Yeah, let's try that. So the G7 will delay and we'll put an extra A flat 7 in there. So if I go from here, we've got 1, 2, and 3 for D half diminished. A flat 7, G7. Easier to play than it is to say. And that is how you get used to minor 1, 6, 2, 5s and fitting them in as substitutions. So again, if I'm improvising, I can do them anywhere because there's no melodic restriction. Okay, so straight to A flat 7, G7. And there are some others. Let me try a few if I can think of any. Here's one. So that was an A7. And I had a flat 5 again. Those work pretty well. So I had that here. Now people might say, well, why can you substitute an A7 where there's an A minor 7 flat 5? Try not to think of substitutions like that. One of the biggest things I learned from Barry Harris was focus not where we are, but where we're going. So A7 goes to D something because it's the 5th of it. It's not because A7 and A minor 7 flat 5 have a particular relationship that makes them interchangeable. It's more about the fact that they both go to D something, okay? In the same way that D can go to G, A flat 7 can go to G, that kind of thing. Hope you enjoyed that, and if you did, perhaps you'll consider joining me on Jazz Skills, where we have plenty of lessons to get fluent, chord progressions, how movements work, improvising, covering melodies, accompanying, you name it. Accountability, live sessions, a good kick up the arse if you need it too. Thanks a lot for watching. See you on the next one. Bye for now.